Hi everyone, I'm Tina and I'm from Sandford Digital. And today, one of our favorite clients, Bill, is actually joining us to talk about how we set up his ecosystem together. So thanks so much for coming on today, Bill, because I know you're really busy and I know you got a call coming on that, so we'll get on with this. Okay, so
Hey,
over to you.
Tina, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me because you guys are awesome. So glad to be here. Glad to take the time.
Thank you for your time. So let's start with can you tell us actually who you are and what it is you actually do, Bill?
Yeah, absolutely. I am Bill Utnage. I live here in the United States. I live actually in Florida, in Southwest Florida, and I own a coaching and consulting business. And so what I do is I help service-based providers, for example, real estate, mortgage, insurance. Those folks help them grow and scale their business by generating more referrals out of the business that they've already have done through those relationships.
That must be so cool. So
Yeah.
may I ask actually, what were some of those frustrations and problems maybe that you were having before you signed up to us?
Yeah. So for me, 33 years of running and owning businesses in the service-based industry, running and owning a real estate business for 18 years. I had coached, but then as I stepped out of it, I sold my real estate business and went into about 2.5 years ago into coaching, really just full time. My coaching program at that time, and still is to a certain degree, is one-on-one coaching. And it was always done by referral. And the area that I had lived for, for 18, going on 19 years. And then moving here to Florida, what I found is then to be able to have a bigger reach and to be able to grow is to be able to step into, the advertising world, Facebook advertising, and looked at a lot of different things to be able to connect, right, with people that hopefully that what I do could help them, right, grow and scale their business. And so I, found you guys through, it's just interesting through how the online world, the web of it works at times, through a gentleman that I was working with, Joel Irway, on with doing a workshop course. He introduced me through a video to Laurel, and then Laurel Portier, and then inside of that group, which you guys were members of that, and I was as well, and got connected with you in that. Because for me, I know enough about Facebook ads to be dangerous, and so it seemed it seemed there's a sense of, sometimes I think, of overwhelm, especially if that's not what you do on a day-to-day basis, kind of like what you guys do, and you guys are supporting your estate agents, and you guys are experts at what you do. I'm an expert in what I do, but that's not running and building Facebook campaigns and understanding, all of that. And so that was kind of the connection of how I've ended up here with you guys today, and how we've worked together over the last couple of months.
Yeah, that's cool. It's such a small world once you get online, doesn't it? It's really quite crazy. So
It's
Yeah.
almost like a long line of referrals, really.
yeah, it is. It's just like
Yeah,
your business.
yeah, yeah. And it kind of indirectly, because it's, the beauty of that is that because I had done something with Joel's like, hey, I use Laurel, and then I went into Laurel's world, and Laurel's like, hey, here's some people that can help you, get, because that wasn't her thing to do kind of
Yeah.
what you guys are doing. And I'm like, great. And then we jumped on a call, and you guys were awesome to kind of walk through what that looked like, and you put up with me, so that's even better. So.
Thank you very much, Bill. I was going to say, just there are really so many ads people out there. What made you want to actually join us? What made you think, okay, I'm going to use these guys for this?
Yeah, and it's a great question, because you're right. I mean, you can't, get online and have everyone, running ads for you or doing all these other things. And I think it kind of goes back to, how I got, into Laurel's, ecosystem. And then I understood, kind of, it made sense. Like, I looked at this and it made sense to where, because I had been in part of another bigger coaching group when I launched one of my a private Facebook group, and we were spending considerably more money to build that group without great results. And so what I liked about hers, and probably wasn't because it was on a smaller budget, which, unless you're one of a massive company where you're, to spend hundreds of dollars a day, or even, thousands and tens of thousands of dollars for Facebook, for online advertising. And so what that piece was, I believed in I thought that system would work. And then with you guys, we're already in there, and then it could help me implement that at a faster rate than I could do it myself. I could have maybe figured it out. And what was nice about that is that you guys took the time, and it's like, hey, just do this step by step. And I can follow simple directions pretty well. And that was really what set that apart of just kind of who you guys were, being very, genuine. I didn't feel like I was, you guys were like trying to upsell me into something else, where it's like, oh, we'll give you a little bit of this. And then, oh, well, you want that, then it's got to be, some bigger, some giant program. So it's that was really, for me, is what I was drawn to that. And just, you guys give way more value than what you charge. And I probably shouldn't say that, because now payment, but no, but it's really, I mean, it's value based. And you guys, again, I say this a lot, and I know I share that with you guys, how much I appreciate just, you're going above and beyond, just, like using, like we use the WhatsApp to communicate, just like little things. And like, and I'll give you just an example of this. And this is something totally separate, but this is what I think separates you both. Is when like a month or so ago, remember, I got my Facebook account got hacked, right?
Oh yeah, that was awful.
And then I texted, and Dan's like, hey, shoot, he goes, hey, what happened? Let me know. And let me see if there's something, that I can, basically, how can I help you, do that? Well, fortunately, I had someone else that I knew here locally, and we were able to get that recovered to be able to do that. But the point I share with that is that's the difference, right? Of your guys, of who you are, how you communicate, and that caring part of that. It wasn't just like I was like, oh, well, that's too bad. When you get that figured out, hopefully you'll be back or whatever. And so anyhow, I just use that as an example.
I can't believe anyone else wouldn't help you. I mean, isn't that just what you do? I don't know. So anyway, so I'll go off on a tangent with that. It's just like,
it's okay.
Wouldn't make any difference. It wouldn't make any sense to me. So I was thinking, what do you reckon that first problem was, the first problem that we solved when we started working together for you? What do you reckon that might be?
We were kind of talking about going through things step by step, solving problems. What do you think was the first one we solved?
Yeah, I mean, really, I think Dan is like, when we started talking about like the whole system of like, hey, do you have these done? I'm like, nope, I don't have those done. I'm like, okay, like the conversion, like that, some of the, some of the videos, getting that, the scripts and those kind of things. He's like, okay, so here's where we need to start, right? And basically just said, okay, do these. We're going to need to start with these. Go ahead and do those, record those. And then when I got those, because you guys can do pretty much everything for me except record the videos for me. So I had to do that. But you gave me, you helped me with the scripts on, on those things. And then, that was probably the first thing, is like where to start. And I think most people, and if you're, and as people are going to watch this, is where we get stuck in really by paralysis by analysis. Meaning it's like, I know I need to do something, I just don't know where to do it or where to start. And what I really appreciate about you guys is like with Dan, like going, this is where you need to start. This is what we need to do. And then it's like, great. Okay. Then the next thing we'll do after we do that will be this. And it was like, boop, boop. And it was just step by step, through that. And I didn't feel like where he's like, all right, you got to shoot 18 videos. You got to get them all done, by tomorrow. Yes. And, where like you have this wave just rushing, over the top of you, where you're like, then you're just not going to do it. It made it into bite-sized pieces that were digestible enough to where that I could get those implemented and to be able to do them.
That actually does make sense, because a lot of times we join programs, don't we? And there's too much information, and then we just don't know where to begin, because we're thinking we need to do that bit over there, but before that we're going to do this bit here. But before we do that, we've got to understand that bit and that bit. And it feels like it's so complicated. You do stop because you think, okay, I've got to digest all this because I don't get it yet.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing is, too, Tina, I will say, is because we can get a course, and in the course is, it can't have every scenario in it where like, okay, if this happens, this, it just, because the course would be 2 years long to be able to cover every scenario. So, which no one would ever watch at that point. But what the nice part about it is like having a person that I can, or people in your guys' case, to go to and kind of go, okay, this is what I did on that, where did I, I think I messed this up by this, like, oh, you can look at that and immediately go, oh, that's what it was. No big deal. We can fix this, whatever that needs to happen. It's instant, can be, when I say instantaneous, it isn't like, on speed dial, but the point of it is that I have someone that, that I can go to and ask these questions, whether that's through WhatsApp, whether that's through, whatever, an email or whatever the case may be, to get an answer for a specific problem, not a general problem, right? Because the general problem is what a lot of times courses, do. They're covering, like, we can't cover all the scenarios. So that's what I think there's the difference, the separator from what my experience. And keep in mind, I mean, I've spent money on, like, on a lot of things related to being online. So I've been with different, bigger companies and, people. And again, it's going back to you guys, of the attention, that you give and are open and answering those questions and just delivering the amount of value that you deliver.
That's lovely. Thank you, Bill. I was just thinking, what do you reckon the biggest, you've kind of covered this already because you've already explained so much, but what do you reckon the biggest, let's say, golden nugget that you found that you could actually share with someone who's in your position right now, who might be watching this video?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I think the issue of it is that you've just got to, you got to implement. Meaning is that, what you guys will get, you can get me to the water, but I've got to get in and swim, or I got to drink it, depending on if I'm either in the ocean or if I'm in fresh water. And I think the key piece of that is that it's really just, that's the piece of it is that you guys you'll do everything that you can to set somebody up for success, and just to be able to do that. So I would say, like, right now is like, if you're hearing this, you're watching this, I get it. You're like, is this going to work? Is this going to fit for me? Are these people good? Is it legit? Because I understand, testimonials. I'm not getting paid for this testimonial. So by the way, I'll give that full disclaimer on that. So it's one of those things. I did it is I reached out to them about, like, hey, let's do this. I want to help your business because you've been helping me. Yes, I have paid them to help me. I get it, but that's different. But I wouldn't do that. Probably there's some companies that I have worked with. I wouldn't spend 30 minutes of my day to do a testimonial for them. Just wouldn't. And so this is where the difference of that is. But it's really is that don't be afraid to implement. You got to start somewhere. These guys will help you get you to there, and understand it's not a silver bullet. It isn't like it's just going to, like, all of a sudden it's like, whoa, the skies are going to open and money's going to come pouring out onto your business. But the issue of it is that anything great is going to take time to build. I don't care whether it's an online business. And I will say this, if you're watching this, you've probably been on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, it doesn't matter. And you're seeing all these claims of, like, how we're going to get you this, we're going to, spend, $1,000 and we're going to, get you 1,000 leads and all of these other things. I'm just going to tell you, it doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. Here, they're going to tell you, this is what you got to do. We're also going to have to test. We're going to try it out. And that's what Dan and I have worked on over the last, month or so, of, like, okay, our numbers look good here, but we're not getting the comments that we need. What do we need to change? Okay, let's change what's our, what are we offering, to get into those conversations? Okay, great. Go shoot that video. Let's implement it. Let's test it. Keep tweaking it. But here's the beauty of it is that I'm not doing this by myself, where I'm just like, all right, what does this mean? Because I didn't get a comment on this one, or whatever the case may be. It's like, oh, here's one of the things it could be. Let's tweak that part of it. I know that's a long answer, Tina, to a short question, but
no, it's actually really useful, because a lot of people believe that as soon as they set this ad structure up the ecosystem, that they're going to just suddenly have loads of leads which are qualified falling in their laps. And you do have to test this. And I know Laurel's always constantly telling us that 9 out of 10 of her ads fail. And what she means by that is, like, it's not that it's wasted money, because you're always building a warm audience with that. But what she means is that she knows she can change one thing to get it down to a very, very specific KP criteria, which means that turns into what she calls a winning ad that you can leave up there forever. And she shows us her winning ads, and they're still bringing those leads in. And we like them.
Even though they were starting like 2018.
Yeah, well, was it 2021?
There's a couple from 2018.
Is it? And they still bring her in leads, and that's what she's talking. That's what she's showing us. In the other ones, will bring stuff in, but she knows that we can do better. That's why she's saying 9 out of my 10 of my ads fail. It means that you could do better.
Yeah, it's like anything. It's like you're going to go through. I mean, you've got to go through the bad to get to the good at times. I mean, so you're going to test and you're going to try to figure it out because it's psychology of people. We don't, we can't get it. We can't open up their head and go, oh, this is what they're thinking. This is what's going to get them to go, and let's go do that. So, no, but it's been you guys have absolutely. And if you're watching this and you guys are thinking about this, I mean, all I can say is, they are who they appear to be, and have been nothing but great to me, like I said, and have given me such value. Don't overthink it, you just step into it, and then understand that it's sometimes it's a marathon and it's not a sprint. It's not going to be instantaneous. And if you're looking for that, then you might just go ahead and keep looking, because I don't want, to be sadly disappointed. And that's anybody that's in the coaching consulting business, where it's like, we wish it was a one-hit wonder and that was going to be great, but rarely does that happen. So I just want to say thank you.
Very lucky. You have to be extremely lucky, in the right place, right time, and be very, very lucky.
Yeah. And here's the thing, I'll leave you with this as we wrap this up, is that I always find this: the harder I work, the luckier I get.
That's true. That is really, really true. I mean, we were actually going to say, if there's anyone watching that's on the fence about joining us, what would you say to them? But you kind of just answered that question a minute ago. So
yeah, just do it. Yeah, just do it. I mean, just if you're serious about this and you feel like this program is going to fit into how you're wanting to do with your business, then just do it. That's all.
That's really
all I would say.
I'm just going to add to that. If anybody does want to have a quick chat with us, we don't hold you to ransom. We just have a quick chat to see if what we do actually works for you. And if it doesn't, we just point you in another direction of something that actually might be better, because we actually only work with 15 people at a time. And that's just it, because we want to give good quality. We want to take care of you as if you're your own family. We want you to succeed. So that's where we are at now. So you
got to watch who you let in your family, because like I said, I'm in there, and then now all of a sudden it's kind of like having the crazy uncle in your family. So, but it's, but thank you guys so much. I appreciate both of you. So,
yeah, we love you too. Thank you.